Okay, now that Photoshop is open, we're going to open up a new document. So go to File, New. You're going to look for the word Print, and you go to those options. Okay, we're going to open up a letter page, which is 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. That's a normal printable size. So you're going to click on that, and then over in the right column gives you some options to change, like your measurements, your orientation. If you want portrait or landscape, 300 DPI is usually what we have it set at. That's the default. You're going to hit Create. So on the left, you have your main tool menu. These are the most important tools that you have access to. Don't forget about this main menu across the very top. All right, so if you were to slow down as you went over the tools on the left, you'll notice that it gives you kind of like a demo and a definition of what each tool will do. And just note that a lot of the tools on the left share space with other tools. So if you click and hold, you'll find those. On the right side of the program, you're going to notice some windows open. And the most important one that you'll be using is a layer window. Right now, all we see is a background layer. We're going to talk more about layers in a bit. But we're going to come back over here and start with the selection tools. So on the second from the top is the rectangular marquee tool. And you are going to draw out a rectangle using that tool. We're going to go down and pick the paint bucket tool, which is about halfway down. And then we're also going to go down to the color picker and choose a color that we might like to use to spill the paint into our rectangle. You'll notice that the color only went into the selected area, and now I can see a little rectangle in my background layer in my layers menu. Now I'm going to go up to the same tool and click and hold and pick the elliptical marquee tool, and basically it allows me to make ellipses and circles. I'm going to go to the color picker, pick something else, go back to the paint bucket tool, fill that with that color. Now I'm going to go to the tool right underneath that. These are the lasso tools, and I'm going to start with the regular lasso tool at the top. Okay, it lets you make sort of organic single stroke lines that will close when you let go of the clicker. I'm going to go ahead and fill it with a color from the color picker so you can kind of see the shape that I've made. Okay, and then there's a polygonal lasso tool that's right up underneath that one, and it lets you make stops as you click so that it's more of a geometric shape that you create as you go around. When you get to the ends, you can either close it or double click and it will complete the shape. To get rid of the selection, I'm going to go up to the top, select, deselect. All the little dancing ants disappear. We're going to now talk about our layers menu over here. I'm going to click on new layer, and it creates a layer called layer 1 above my background layer. I'm going to come and do what we just did a minute ago, make a selection, pick a color, and fill it. So now I have this circle. I'm going to deselect my dancing ant, so select, deselect gets rid of them. I'm going to click on a move tool very top of your left tool list. And I'm going to grab the circle and I'm going to move it around. And it moves independently of the background because it is on a separate layer. I'm going to click new layer. Again, this time I'm going to make a square. Pick a different color because we like colors. So in my layer menu, I've got layer 1, layer 2, I've got a background layer, and depending on what layer I have selected, allows me to affect what's on that layer. I can even rearrange them front to back. So if I wanted the circle on top, I move it up, and then I can still work on the square in the background. Okay, we're going to use a new tool called the brush tool. And the brush tool has options across the top. I opened up the window. You can affect the type of brush tip, the width. I'm going to pick a different color just so you can see what it does and squiggle around for you. I'm going to show you another tool over here called the eraser tool. Whatever layer you're on, you can erase what's on that layer. So I'm going to click around and do some erasing for you. A few more features and tools we should go over. Your layer menu can be moved out from the right and opened up more. You can poke your layers in the eye, and that way you can turn on and off the different layers so you can see things independently. You can also throw layers into the garbage, so if you don't need a layer, you can drag it down to the little trash can icon. There is a magnifying glass tool that lets you zoom in and out of your work. Right above that's a little hand. So if you zoom in and then go grab your hand, it lets you kind of maneuver your artwork around up close. You can get your magnifying glass and pull back to view everything on your screen. Starting from the top, this is what you now know. Your move tool, selection tools. You have brush tool. You have paint bucket tool, zoom in tools. You know about the color palette. You know about the layer menu on the right side and how to manipulate your layers. Now it's up to you to play around. Have fun.